Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
On A View from the Outside this week being the 24th of August 2019, we look at poverty, P-O-V-E-R-T-Y, poverty, with the view being that the time is now for each and every Vincentian to recognize the impact of poverty on the Vincentian society and to call on the government of St Vincent and the Grenadines to release the results of the latest country assessment report and to take action to stem the number of Vincentians who fall into poverty on a daily basis. The Cambridge Dictionary defines poverty as the condition of being extremely poor. And the United Nations, the UN, defines poverty as a denial of choices and opportunities, a violation of human dignity. It means lack of basic capacity to participate in society. It means not having enough to feed and clothe a family, not having a job to feed one's family, not having access to credit. It means insecurity, powerlessness, and exclusion of households and communities. It means susceptibility to violence. From those definitions of poverty, it is clear that poverty debilitates. Poverty severely weakens and disadvantages a section of society. Poverty breeds depravity. Poverty denies justice. The UN has recognized the importance for action to be taken in order to reduce poverty around the world, so much so that it has identified poverty as the number one of its 17 Sustainable Development Goals to be achieved by 2030. In February 2018, seemingly to appear to be taking steps and to be in conformity with the UN's goals towards poverty reduction, a country poverty assessment was launched by the government of St Vincent and the Grenadines in the country. This was done with much pomp and fanfare. At the time, it was said that this assessment would be in-depth, in fact, would be more in-depth than any such previous assessment. The country, the public, everyone was asked to cooperate and participate in the country poverty assessment. There were radio, television, and social media jingles encouraging everyone to participate. At the time, also, the promise was made that following the country poverty assessment, the results would be released by March 2019. Since the launch in February 2018, it is no secret that officials and agents of the Statistical Department in St Vincent and the Grenadines traveled throughout the length and breadth of the country and gathered information from you, the people of the country, in order to carry out the country poverty assessment. You, the people of the country, know that you provided the information which they asked you to provide. No doubt you did so in good faith, in expectation of the results which were promised by March 2019. And having cooperated, you are, no doubt, looking forward to the results and to hearing the government's plan to counter poverty. Well, this is virtually the end of August 2019, some 5 months later than promised, and still there has been no release of the results of the country poverty assessment. Certainly, questions need to be asked by you, the people, by us, as to why the results have not been released, or, put another way, why are the results being withheld from the people of St Vincent and the Grenadines? Could it be that the results will reveal that St Vincent and the Grenadines has sunken deeper into poverty? Deeper levels of poverty than those which were revealed in the 1998 report and the assessment of 2007-2008? Is it that they are afraid that the report will show that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has sunken into much deeper poverty during the 18 consecutive years of the life of their administration? Could it be, as is speculated, that the results are so poor that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is concerned and are afraid that the real truth will be revealed to the people? What are they hiding? Is it that they are confronted with the stark truth and the high number of those who are indigent and poor throughout the country? One cannot forget that it was the Prime Minister himself who, in the Parliament of the country, described a female from his own constituency as indigent and poor. It is believed that his intention at that time was to embarrass the woman, all because she exercised her constitutional right and joined the protest on the front line to protest the results of the general elections of 2015, elections which are generally believed to have been stolen, and elections from which election petitions are yet to be determined on appeal in the Court of Appeal. Whatever his intention was, there is no doubt that he revealed, perhaps unwittingly, his own knowledge of the kind of poverty, the indigence and poor which exist in the country which he presides over. Surely, whatever the reasons are why the results are still undisclosed, you'll agree with us on a view from the outside that it is high time, in fact, it is past time for the government to honor its promise to you, to us, the people, and release the results and tell us their plans to stem poverty. It is here that we encourage you to demand that they honor their promise and release the results. You have a right to know the results. We all have a right to know the results. You do not have to wait on the opposition or anyone else, for that matter, to ask for the results. Ask for the results yourself. Demand them. It is a right which you have. A right which you have to hold government to account. A right to ensure that when they make a promise to you, they keep it. Just this week in the United Kingdom, it was reported that business leaders demanded an independent inquiry into what a no-deal Brexit would mean for the United Kingdom. That demand was made by the business leaders because of accusations leveled at the UK government that it is withholding vital information about the potential problems which could be caused by a no-deal Brexit. Mention is made of that here on A View from the Outside to show that it was the business leaders who took the initiative to demand an inquiry. They did not wait on any official opposition party to do so. They made the demands themselves. That kind of action could, of course, be emulated by you in St Vincent and the Grenadines. We all need to take the initiative and make the demand of the government of St Vincent and the Grenadines to release those results. In making the demand, let us ask them what they are afraid of. Are they afraid that the results will reveal the highest level of depravity across the country? The kind of depravity which will lead someone to make a chillingly frightening call live on air and threaten to kill a radio talk show host, Margaret London. And where it is reported that the police appear to be turning a blind eye to such threat. The kind of depravity which reveals the level of corruption which is unfolding in the country. The kind of depravity which allows the existence of human trafficking in the country. The kind of depravity which has caused the country to be labeled as the haven for money laundering. The kind of depravity which has caused the country to be labeled as the capital of rape and sexual assault and domestic abuse against women. The kind of depravity which has led to the escalation in all crimes. Are they afraid that the results will reveal the real figures pertaining to the unemployment situation which currently exists in the country? The kind of unemployment which makes many, especially many young people, feel helpless and hopeless. The kind of unemployment which causes many to be unable to feed, clothe, and provide basic necessities for their family. Are they afraid that the latest country poverty assessment report will reveal the true extent of the deficiency and the failure of the much touted education revolution? Are they afraid that the latest country poverty assessment report will reveal the number of Vincentians who are denied choices and opportunities and whose human dignity is violated with regularity, all because of political polarization and partisanship, which they have embedded in the country? Are they afraid that the results of the country poverty assessment report will reveal the true extent of insecurity, powerlessness, and exclusion of households and communities throughout the country? Irrespective of their reason or reasons for not having released the results to date, Vincentians, make that call, make that demand for the results, because it is only when the results are revealed that proper and genuine efforts can be made for solutions at poverty reduction in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. If they are genuinely interested in poverty reduction, they will put aside their loftiness and their concerns and release those results with haste. Release those results and begin the process so that those in poverty in St. Vincent and the Grenadines can have justice. The kind of justice which Nelson Mandela talked about when he said, overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. That's Nelson Mandela. He said, overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. Vincentians, call for that act of justice today. Call for it now. Until next week, Justin and all of the listeners, this is Brereton Horne with a view from the outside, with a reminder to send your feedback, as usual, to the email address, aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. You can also get us on Facebook at A View from the Outside and on YouTube at JMB Horne and on Vibes Caribbean.